These are Japan's most haunted places, and this is me investigating all of them to prove if they're actually haunted. Now, full disclosure, guys, I've never had a paranormal experience before. So what better place to test whether or not ghosts really exist than one of the world's oldest cultures, whose creepiest and most haunted sites have inspired some of the scariest movies ever made. Japan has, without a doubt, more haunted and scary places than almost anywhere else in the world. So I'm flying 5,000 miles to Tokyo to see some ghosts. Next up is Sunshine 60, which sounds like a new type of sunscreen. Sunshine 60 was built on top of the former site of the infamous Sugamo prison. Built in 1895, Sugamo prison was the unfortunate home to many political prisoners and, during World War II, war criminals, enemy officers, and spies. A suspiciously amount of prisoners were disappeared through the 40s and 50s, which has led to the site being considered haunted, allegedly. So naturally, Japan built a 60-story skyscraper on top of the former prison site with the 60 stories and the 60 in the name, rumored to represent the amount of disappearances. So naturally, I had to check it out and see for myself if there really are any apparitions or haunted hijinks going on over there. The lobby just looked like a normal building lobby, except it was gigantic and had 6 rows of elevators. I really wanted to play some soccer in the lobby, but there was a sign clearly saying that I couldn't. There's also an upgraded Roomba that was staring me down hard. Then it was time to get up to the 60th floor. Turns out these aren't just elevators, they're Saturn V rockets in disguise. This place was weird. It looked like a museum procreated with an Apple store. I paced around the entire floor multiple times to see if I could get the faintest sight of a ghost. At this point, I'd be okay if one just shanked me just so I could feel something. Their families hanging out around the fire pit, a cafe selling overpriced food. And by overpriced in Japan, I mean pretty cheap by US prices.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
Honestly, the only scary thing about this place was Namja Town, which is a theme park that is themed after cats. That actually scared the shit out of me. So I can safely say that Sunshine 60 is not haunted, at least not by bad ghosts. Toyama Park is said to be one of the most haunted places in Tokyo. This park is home to one of the darkest chapters in Japanese history. It was a testing site for the infamous Unit 731. Which, if you don't know about Unit 731, they're considered to be one of the worst groups during World War II, which is like saying something, because there's a lot of bad people during that war. Now, the reason this park is a hotbed of paranormal activity is because Unit 731 would use this place as like a dumping ground for the victims of their human and stuff. Once that was discovered, excavation of the site began in 2011 after it became known what the site was used for. There's someone playing the guitar, actually decently well. But then I realized that I wasn't even in the most haunted part yet. Those toilets are the most haunted thing so far. The most haunted and creepy area is a quarter of a mile away on a little mountain. If you're calling a little hill with stairs a mountain, you gotta hit the Stairmaster more. Finally, we get to what looked like the stairs that lead to the mountain, and this area was seriously creepy. As I was going up the stairs, the EMF reader started to go off, but I ignored it because the thing had sent me more mixed signals than my ex. When I looked up the stairs to the top of the mountain, I saw something that seriously scared the pants off of me. Wow, that was actually terrifying. I looked up and I saw a shadow just at the top of the staircase, like a shadow of a person. Oh my god, the blood in my veins kind of froze. Wow. I saw a shadowy figure staring down at me. I couldn't see its body or its face, but it was just basically the silhouette of a person. Even now when I'm talking about it, the hair on my arm is just standing up. I began to investigate by first taking pictures to see if I could spot anything in them. I couldn't. It's gonna be really hard to top this, but there's gonna be something coming up that is gonna be even more terrifying. Now, according to my sources, this place is supposed to be the most haunted building in all of Japan. Is this the entrance? This way? Oh, okay. There. Alright, arigato. Thanks. Why is it so hard getting into this building? This place is surreal, yo, but like in the worst way possible. The Shinagawa immigration office has a seriously off vibe. I don't know what it is, but something tells me they're not very YouTube friendly here. Reddit bamboozled me again because this place is not haunted by anything other than the ghost of government bureaucracy. Hachioji is a Japanese historic heritage site that is about a 2-hour train ride away from Tokyo. So I wanted to know what makes Hachioji Castle a hotbed of paranormal activity. And if so, what am I gonna see or experience, or what's gonna happen to me? The village I was walking through to get to Hachioji had a very Resident Evil vibe to it. There's two paths leading to the castle ruins, and neither of them look like they'll be good for me. After crossing a small bridge and walking along the side of the mountain, I get to a massive wooden bridge overlooking a waterfall. Just across that bridge would be the ruins of the haunted Hachioji Castle. But there was one final step before I got to the ruins. Actually, more like 20 really sus stone steps, because the spirits really want to f with you by giving you a cardio workout before you get there. The castle was magnificent. The EMF reader didn't go off. That could also probably be because I may not have any idea how to use it. The fact that I'm the only one here, except for the cameras, and the silence was starting to really creep me out. I decided to go down to the waterfall where people have said that they experience a lot of paranormal things. What is the point of a sign when it's after the thing that the sign is warning you about? I decided I should make an offering to the spirits so I don't get haunted. Although I do want to get haunted, I just don't want the haunting to come back with me. Also, a bottle of green tea is a small price to pay for making sure ghosts don't haunt me when I'm on a date or in the bathroom. If you guys could please give me a sign that you're here, I'd really appreciate it. I hadn't heard a single noise this whole time, and then suddenly... I swear to God I keep hearing things. Like, actually, I heard like a horse neighing over there, and then I heard... Do you hear that? So I definitely did hear something. Even though I didn't see anything, I did hear that horse neighing, which I really can't explain because there's no people or horses anywhere here in this forest. Next up is Oiwa Inari Shrine in Tokyo. It is home to the most famous Japanese ghost story, Yotsuya Kaidan, about a samurai named Tamiya Lemon who ends his wife Oiwa and her lover, resulting in a series of vengeful hauntings. Oiwa's spirit, which is legit terrifying, relentlessly pursues Lemon, driving him to madness and ultimately leading him to his demise. The journey involved a very long escalator and several buses and trains. I finally got to the shrine and it was tiny. I mean, this place is so small you could easily miss it if you didn't know it was here. The shrine was really well maintained, and I was about to find out why. There was a gardener, and he was kinda not happy with us being there. Suddenly, the leaves around me started to rustle, and I felt a cold chill. Probably because it was super windy. I couldn't understand how one of the most haunted sites in Japan could be so not haunted. I was about to give up on this place. There was nothing remotely even scary, but then I started to talk to the people. Konnichiwa, excuse me, is, that one? It is? Really? Konnichiwa, sorry, No? Oh, people say it's haunted, ghost. Oh, dismissed. Oh, dismissed. Arigato, thank you. Next, I decided to go investigate the most haunted tunnel in Tokyo. Is that? Nothing prepares a man better than liquid corn for a night of paranormal adventures. Oh my god. After taking a bunch of trains and walking the wrong way, I finally arrived at Sendagaya. This is fine. The tunnel was never meant to be built under a cemetery, but like a high schooler the night before his homework is due, the Japanese government had to rush construction of the tunnel in preparation for the Olympics. So instead of kind of doing the normal non-haunted thing, which is going around the cemetery, they just kind of went under it. The famous story is that a woman with long blood-stained hair suddenly shows up and chases visitors through the tunnel before disappearing. Drivers also say they hear strange noises in an oppressive atmosphere. That sounds like a working condition issue. They should probably go to the government or a union for that. The scariest thing so far have been the random bikers. The world is theirs. The sidewalk, oh, it's a bike lane. The street, oh, it's a bike lane. Everything's a bike lane to them. Is that blood? Oh no. Could be though. This is almost as scary as going to a Waffle House at 3 a.m. It is officially midnight. And according to grandmas everywhere, nothing good is gonna happen from here on out. Having been in the tunnel for a couple hours now, I started to notice something concerning. Every single car is a taxi. This one's a cab. It's a cab. Why? There's like 3 people walking. If they have experienced some paranormal hijinks, it clearly wasn't enough to prevent them from having their nightly cig breaks. I decided to burn some time by playing a few more rounds of Taxi or Not. We're gonna have no cuts here. I'm gonna bet that next car is a cab. I'll bet my life savings. I'll bet my big toe. Yep.
Yep.
I was getting tired, so I started to munch on these things called Boost Bites, which look and taste like the diabetic offspring of Mountain Dew. I needed a lot of these bad boys to make it through the night, which turned out to be a bad idea when all the caffeine hit at once. Suddenly, the EMF started to go off. Konnichiwa. Is the tunnel haunted?
上になんだっけ
Oh, up there?
お墓っていうか、
Oh, cemetery.
そうそうそうそうそう。
Ah, right up there. Oh, okay. Up there. Arigato. Thank you. I had to go check it out. There was no clear path straight up, so I had to navigate through these residential streets. It's taking me 15 minutes to find a cemetery, but that's not because I went the wrong way. That's just because how long it takes.
The cemetery. How did I just... Let's take a second. How did I just navigate us through a random narrow alleyway with houses? No Google.
There were stairs on the other end of the tunnel.
There's nothing. My crotch was more EMF-y than this.
Tonight I saw a lot of taxis, water that has no ghost but probably E. coli in it, more taxis, almost gave myself caffeine poisoning, more taxis, corn drink, but no spooky stuff. Old Komine Tunnel was the site of a horrific crime that shocked the nation so much that the tunnel was closed down in 2002 and abandoned while a new one was built. Serial capper Tsutomu Miyazaki ended a little girl and left her body near the tunnel. People have reported seeing the ghost of a girl without hands and feet. No one comes here unless you're a fellow ghost enthusiast or have bad intentions.
Komine Tunnel? Komine? Hi.
Surprisingly, they don't really try to deter people from going here. After traveling for 2 hours, I had yet to see or experience anything scary, and we were about to call it a day, but then suddenly...
That's insane. What? This leaf is literally floating in the air. I'm not kidding. There's no black magic voodoo going on. Look. Okay, there. Jesus. Sometimes you know when you go to a place and you know it's not a good place, you just have this feeling in your body that it's not a good vibe.
This just feels like the perfect horror movie setup. Abandoned road and tunnel, a brown guy, and only one light working. Clearly this place is frequented by the most upstanding members of society.
It'd honestly be less creepy if there was no lights working or all the lights were working, but the fact that there's just one... If anybody is here, just give us a sign. Are you the little girl who was here? I didn't get to take my morning poo, so if you are here, please at least make this 2.5-hour train and bus ride worth it.
I half expected to start hearing children singing, which would have just, oh my god. So far, I haven't seen a girl without hands, but I did see something that seriously gave me the creeps.
Oh!
I shined a light on the wall, and I almost immediately liquefied all my assets into my pants.
Oh my, an actual tarantula. It's a beautiful area, a little bit creepy, but it's nothing haunted.
So I did see a ghost. Even though it was a ghost leaf, it still counts. When it comes to Japanese horror movies, there's one that most people almost certainly know. The Ring. If you've seen The Ring, you know the girl with the really bad hair day that climbs out of the well. Well, that well is the well that's located in Himeji Castle. After taking a bunch of trains and buses and more trains, we finally got to Himeji at 5 o'clock. So I knew I had to move fast to find this well, and after taking an embarrassing amount of time getting tickets and crossing the field, I was in. And like most things in Japan, Himeji has its own mascot that's basically a cute blob with a castle on its head. This place is older than America, and it is so well preserved. Probably because no army made it up here because they all got too exhausted after the 58 set of stairs.
I wouldn't try to conquer this place either.
I had to move quick to get to the top of the castle so I could get a bird's eye view. The stairs were so narrow that even my videographer, who wears like size 3 shoes, was having a hard time climbing up.
The scariest thing about this place, how steep and narrow the stairs are.
Finding the right well turned out to surprisingly be a challenge. Finally, I found the well, but it was gated off and a massive tourist attraction. I was not going to get another chance, so I had to do everything I could to get haunted now.
Do you like haunting people? Do you like the movie The Ring? Not the American version, the Japanese.
No matter what I tried, it didn't seem like I was getting anything. Maybe if I had an old VHS and a copy of The Ring, but nothing was working.
So she actually worked for the Lord of the castle and tried to prevent his assassination. And because she tried to prevent the assassination, the assassin ended up taking revenge on her because she didn't marry him. What a simp.
Eventually, the castle was closing and I had to leave. To say it wasn't haunted is not totally fair because I wasn't there at night, which is when things, you know, get creepy because ghosts come out at night, I'm pretty sure only. But during the day with so many people, you're not really going to experience anything other than heat stroke and having your wallet drained by the gift shop. On the outskirts of Kyoto, on Mount Oiwa, lies a temple that people claim is one of the creepiest in all of Japan. Oiwa Shrine, not to be mistaken with the similarly named Oiwa Shrine in Tokyo, Japan, is a shrine that has fallen into disarray. Local lore that dates back hundreds of years, combined with people's own creepy experiences, have led many to believe that the shrine is haunted. And I thought to myself, how creepy can this place really be? Even though Japan's public transport system is impeccable, there's no buses or trains going to a haunted shrine, so I had to take the old-fashioned way. An Uber. The journey actually started off great because I found out that my Uber driver is actually an Uber driver in training, being trained by another Uber driver, and we almost got into an accident on a bridge, like 10 seconds after we started driving. And what started as a really stress-free drive got really eerie really quickly as we were driving up the mountain to the shrine. Now, the Uber didn't really want to be here any longer than they had to, so after a Walmart parking lot style 39-point turn, they skedaddled out of there. And now I was alone.
It is insanely creepy up there. Like, insanely scary.
I couldn't help but feel like someone or something didn't want me there. There was not a single soul around, which I think is a good thing in this case.
Somebody put an alcohol tribute up so the ghosts can have a shot in the afterlife.
According to some of the reviews, the shrine itself is not very large, but it has a unique atmosphere and 2 cats that will welcome you. It is used to be a scary place with illegal dumping and places where bodies were left. Although there is someone who manages the Oiwa Shrine, the cat has been in charge of the actual management for decades. This cat will appear in front of people who have a pure heart or a desire to become beautiful. It is dangerous for a woman or a small group of women to go into such a dark, empty forest. Clearly now I had another mission too. Find the keepers of the shrine. The cats.
Oh, there. There's a black one. Oh my god. We just found the keeper of the temple.
I was surprised to find not 1, but 2 cats. I came prepared with an offering for the shrine keepers, but I forgot to bring scissors. I made a lot of offerings for the cats, but they just wanted more. I wasn't even mad when I spilled a little bit on his head on accident, because he said that if you guys click that like and subscribe button, you will forgive me.
I think I've bought myself favor with the temple keepers.
Now, I came prepared with Amazon's finest $30 EMF reader.
This feels like a McDonald's toy with the radioactive sign.
Hi, konnichiwa.
Is this place haunted?
Hi.
Is this place haunted?
Near.
No? They're clearly here for forest restoration purposes.
Oh, spider. Oh. Oh, it's going off still. I don't like it. Why is it going off? God, I almost shit myself. This place has seriously given me the creeps. I've been to a lot of creepy places my whole life. Abandoned hospitals, abandoned mental asylums, the Greyhound station in LA at like 2 a.m. But this place tops all of them.
As the sun went down, things started to really get creepy, and I was hearing voices that were certainly not cats. I had that very uneasy feeling that someone was following me.
This is one of the creepiest places I've ever been to, boys. Hands down one of the creepiest places I've ever been to.
Thank you guys for watching. Please click that like and subscribe button, and if this gets 10,000 likes, I'm gonna go to the creepiest village in all of Japan.